anything
but
else in
even
Canada.
the example you just provided,
Yes.
at the time of birth, where the child's information is being procured or taken to form the birth certificate, who establishes or validates the nationality of the parent at the moment, at that time?
And at the time, the parents wouldn't have been there.
No, I'm saying that when a birth certificate, so a child is born, and you are saying that you are there as the father, is it a claim you make as a Ghanaian, or is it proof you provide as a Ghanaian? Do you get my point?
Yes, I get you.
So we need to even check how that Ghanaian nationality is determined on the certificate. So you have given birth here, right? Or Eduji, I don't know, but I haven't given birth here, so I don't know. But when you give birth here and you are getting the certificate of the child, and you say that you are a Ghanaian, what shows that you are a Ghanaian? What evidence do you give at the time of making the birth certificate to determine that indeed you are a Ghanaian?
Is that what makes the document? That's the best. Let's put the birth certificate there again. That makes it contestable.
Possibly. I don't know if that is all the reason. Possibly. You see, history counts for something. In the US, it's because of their history. As an example, why a person born in the US, whether your parents are from there or not, once you are born there, you are a Ghanaian. But in this country, if I am, let's say, Togolese, and I've lived here for 20 years...
We're not talking about birth. We're talking about the certification indicating that you are a Ghanaian. It's not about where you are born.
No. I'm just trying to tell you that...
Okay, give us the experience of
something determines what the laws... I mean, you are a lawyer. Laws are not just made for making laws' sake. Our history guides us. So many things go into why laws are made. And I'm citing an example to you how the US laws were made, because it's an immigrant country. So a person born in the US is given automatic citizenship because it's deemed that we all came from somewhere into this country. But in Ghana, our circumstances are different. Our circumstances are different. So it may not be as easy for a person to acquire Ghanaian citizenship just by being born here.
I mean, you are getting a whole thing confused. You see?
No,
I mean, interactive.
Okay.
Kofi, just interact.
No, please. So this argument is not about citizenship.
No, it's about the
it's about the use of
I said
the
something
birth certificate.
Kofi didn't want to take it.
Please.
You see what?
We're not having this discussion because of citizenship.
What triggered?
Please, let him make his point.
No, just 30 seconds. Kofi, you see what triggered this whole conversation? Like I said. Was in 2020.
Yeah.
There was a conversation
I know that.
To prove these two elements under Article 42.
I know
the requirement of citizenship and age.
I know that.
Which document better prove these two things? The argument was made that on the face of your birth cert is the year you were born. So by simple calculation, you can determine on the face of that document whether the person is 18 or less. If it's less, the law doesn't permit him to be on the register. On the face of the document, you have hometown of mother, hometown of father, or those other information. So, for instance, Kofi appeared before with his birth cert showing that the mother is from, say, Ejiso. I'm just saying for the purpose of example. The father is from Kpando, right? Prima facie, on the face of this document, two requirements of Article 42 have been established. His citizenship and that of. Unless, of course, Kofi is saying that even though the mother's hometown is Ejiso, she's not a Ghanaian. That's impossible. So there is, you see, I'm being very cautious because, you see, at the core of this is a conversation as to logic.
When you listen to Justice Tokonu, she used a word, lineage. She said, Ghana, your identity or your Ghanaian identity is determined by your lineage. And when you read the definition, it doesn't end at your parents. It goes further to your grandparents, reinforcing the notion that our identity is lineage.
When you say lineage, what do you mean?
I'm giving you lineage.
When you say lineage, what does it mean? Nothing.
Because you see, Edgy. You see, the thing is.
Well, lineage is well described in the law, but
has to mean what?
Do you have the definition of how
pre 1957,
exactly.
pre 1960, yes. But all those determinations end within the present day before the coming into force of the 1992 Constitution. Because the 1992 Constitution does indicate if you were a citizen before 1992 or coming into force of this Constitution,
you maintain it.
You are deemed.
Of course.
So we are talking about today.
Of course.
All that period up to today.
In fact, if you look at the 1992 Constitution, it says all you need to establish is just one grandparent.
Yes, or one parent. Of course.
So we're not talking about... Please not confuse the conversation.
So you can trace a grandparent to say Dahomey or Benin.
We're not talking about that.
But subsequently, the other one is a Ghanaian.
Kofi,
that's enough.
I'm saying that. So Kofi Mensah.
Okay.
Kofi Mensah has his daughter.
This decision was done
his daughter.
during the voters register thing.
Stop politicizing this.
No,
issue.
I'm
Why
not.
do you like
I am not politicizing it. I'm
Kofi,
giving
let me create the scenario. Let me create the scenario for you.
Yeah.
Kofi Mensah gives birth.
Okay.
That's the registration. Kofi Mensah is there as father. Then we have the nationality line or space indicating that Kofi Mensah as the father is a Ghanaian.
Sure.
Nationality Ghana.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
Okay. Now, after doing that registration, I cannot use...
That was my question. How was Kofi Mensah's nationality determined?
Kofi Mensah is already a Ghanaian up to the time he gave birth.
I know.
Coming into force of the 1992 Constitution.
Issued,
he's already a Ghanaian. So
that's a vetting. You know it.
That's why I was trying to come
That's
to.
a vetting. So even if you say you are a Ghanaian, before you even put on the birth set itself that Kofi Tontoh is a Ghanaian, you do some vetting.
What is the vetting process?
So I mean,
what is the vetting process? That's what I'm saying. When I was in Washington, for example, if somebody comes to acquire a passport, I don't know, what happens is you give your birth certificate as part of tracing your identity. But then beyond that, you also have to provide 2 guarantors and a witness. And that's why the lady said it is not something that's not considered at all. It is considered as part of the process. They didn't say that we don't consider birth certificates at all. Unless that's what you are suggesting.
No, so
consider birth certificates.
You see, you are being, let me use the word, progressive. You said at least consideration is given to rates.
No, but the lady said it.
Please, we are talking about a decision of the court.
What did you said they didn't provide any justification?
I am saying
have
that
you seen
a decision
the verdict
of the court.
Have you seen the verdict?
Which verdict?
The written statement. Have you seen it?
Which verdict?
When they passed the law, didn't they provide?
No. Okay, so that's why you are confusing two things. You see, for instance, at the vetting, 2 decisions came up. Jechi.
Not the vetting. I'm talking about the ruling.
So in the actual Supreme Court ruling, which judgment my Lord Justice Professor Ashikote
wrote. Yes, I'm saying they provided justification.
Was provided.
Yeah. Yes, but you said they didn't provide justification.
No, but that's the justification in there. But I'm saying that...
You don't agree with the justification.
If you are saying that a determination as to whether a person is a citizen or is above 18 years old, those 2 qualifications to be registered cannot be deciphered or obtained on the face of a birth certificate, then it becomes problematic. Because on your birth certificate, Kofi, your birth certificate, is your age not there?
It is.
Can I not infer you are 18 or below?
Of course.
On your birth cert, is it not on it that your father or mother is a Ghanaian?
Of course.
By reason of that, are you not therefore a Ghanaian?
Of course. And that's why the lady said,
please,
it is not completely...
Kofi, stop these things.
No.
Stop it. You see, we are the young people of this country. And you see, the reason why I'm particularly a bit uncomfortable, when I see people like you, right?
Yeah.
Associate with some of these things. The pain I have
I'm not associating with anything.
The pain I have is that, you see, we are making it extremely difficult for the people who will come after us. Our world today is a bit more complex than their world. Look, Kofi, it may well happen that your kids may decide that they don't even want to have any association with Ghana, even though their father is a Ghanaian. And like I always make the point, look at someone
their
like,
mother is a Ghanaian.
Sorry. Yeah. Look at someone like Obama. How easy Obama became president of the United States of America. But I can bet you, Obama will struggle to become the president of Kenya. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we doing this to ourselves?
But Aduji,
it's painful.
So you are going into the nitty-gritties of our law. No. What I can agree is that let's look at the law if we so deem it appropriate.
The question about do we need to have a certain reconsideration about whether the certificate should be a primary document for determining some individuals who are citizens of the country born within the period when the 1992
I don't have a problem with it. And that's what I've said from the beginning, that we are educating ourselves. I only sought to provide the position of the justice, that it is part of the documentation. They are not saying it's not part of it. But if we all deem it appropriate, that let's make it the primary source, provided we've put in place all the mechanisms to make that document legitimate. Because we all know the problems that are associated with documentation in this country. We all know. So, FDG, perhaps we can all advocate for it becoming the primary source for establishing your identity. But then it must go beyond just establishing that. Because we know there's challenges in our systems.
All right.
So we can have that conversation. I don't have a problem. Like I said from the beginning, I personally don't have any issue, if it's the birth certificate.
All right.
But I want to make sure that that birth certificate is a legitimate birth certificate.
You don't think that the birth certificate issued by the birth and death registry is legitimate?
But Roland, we all know the challenges associated with. Even there's been improvement, admittedly. There's been great improvement. But there are still instances where people are acquiring birth certificates.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, there are still instances. That's what I'm saying.
But just like all forms of documentation we're using to determine citizenship, they are all
fraught with
duplicated.
challenges. I know. They are all, and that's what I'm saying, that since we are all advocating for a direction, it shouldn't end at advocacy of that direction. It should also include...
It should be holistic.
Holistic.
Okay.
So that when that document becomes the sole or primary...
No, it shouldn't be the sole. We're saying that why is it precluded? It is not added, though.
No, but it's always been part of it. The issue is whether it's the primary document. Is that not so? It's
because ultimately, it leads to you acquiring your...
Ghana card, your passport, all of it. It's always been part of it.
And that enables you to undertake your universal adult suffrage responsibility.
Which is voting. Yes, I agree.
Because it's a very thorny issue in Ghana, that's why.
Roland, let's establish here, the fact is that it is part of it.